Hey now, welcome everybody. Here we are. What a look at the studio as we are live for another wonderful edition of Sam Roberts Now, live here at youtube.com/Notsam. I'm so glad that you all could join us for what will no doubt be another action-packed, fun-fueled, lonely as all hell show. And there's only one man that can celebrate lonely with us the way it was intended to be celebrated. That's Hot Dog. Hot Dog is here. Hot Dog.
Hello, Sam Roberts.
I feel like after the pictures that you took of Saraya on Jim and Sam, you're over on a whole new level with a lot of people. It's got to feel good. It's got to feel good to be you
on
right
Cloud
now.
9.
Yeah,
Sam.
I can only imagine. So thank you all, of course. Don't forget, all Super Chats will be read. If you want to contribute to the show tonight and you want your comment acknowledged, Super Chat it in, because we have a lot to discuss. Hot Dog, you're having just a fab. You're going into the weekend on Cloud 9.
Best week ever.
You know who's that's not the case for?
Who?
Don Lemons, or Don Lemon. Don Lemons, and you would think, too, because I turned on my CNN morning news show. You can tell that I watch it and am very well informed because I know what the name is, the CNN morning news show.
CNN and Friends.
CNN and Friends. Is that, yeah. That's right. That's right. Good Day CNN is on there every morning on CNN, and Don Lemon is the person who wakes us all up. He's the modern-day Mr. Rogers, this guy. And I turn it on, and this is what I get this morning.
I'm jealous. Poppy is at NBA All-Star.
I
have serious FOMO from that interview that Poppy did. I'm jealous. Poppy is at NBA All-Stars weekend. It is going to be so good. We have so many good moments from that, including that full interview there. Good morning, everyone. Audie Cornish is here at the desk with us this morning.
Audie Cornish.
Don has the day off. Poppy, as you can see, is in Utah.
Don has the day off. Did you hear that, Hot Dog? I figured
for him.
I know. If anybody deserves a vacation, listen.
At the desk with us this morning, Don has the day off. Poppy, as you can see, is in Utah for the NBA All-Star Game.
Poppy's in Utah. She's covering something for the show, but Don has the day to himself. Don has the day to enjoy it as he pleases. Do
a nice
with
long
this
President's Day weekend.
That's it. We're not coming in on, and Don, don't worry about coming in on Monday either. Oh, great. Thanks, guys. What a long weekend. I already saw photos of him gallivanting in Florida on the beaches. He jumped on a flight quick.
He's not in New Orleans?
No, he would tell you that this was a planned vacation. He said, how could I get to Florida so fast if this wasn't well planned out? No, you're right. You can't buy airplane tickets at the last minute or anything like that, especially when you're very, very wealthy. So Don, I was ready to celebrate the fact that he had a vacation because I love seeing my guys get their vacations. Except I searched Don Lemon to get his email. You know, I said, what's Don's email? So I did a search for Don Lemon because I wanted to send him a nice email.
You Googled Don Lemon.
I did. And the things that came up, Hot Dog, the things that came up, I could not believe it. See, I didn't watch CNN and Friends on Thursday because I do a morning show. It's my Friday routine. Every Friday I wake up for CNN and Friends. Monday
catch up with the news of the week on Friday.
That's
it. Just like Monday through Thursday, you catch up all of them.
I do Jim and Sam Monday through Thursday. So I don't have a digital video recorder. DVR technology doesn't exist in my house. So, you know, there's nothing really that I can do on that front. And I'm not fronting as I tell you this because I Google him to get his email address to congratulate him on a well-deserved day off. And this is the day before then. That was today, this morning. This was yesterday. I guess, who's this? Nikki Haley? Nikki Haley, it says, calls for mental competency tests for older politicians, you know, because that's what they say. They say this Joe Biden character doesn't know wrist lock from a wrist watch is what they say. Doesn't know his ass from his elbow, this guy. Just not all there.
Doesn't know how to take a bump from a bike either.
Well, no, he doesn't. No, it's flat back, bro. Tuck your chin. Tuck. So Don, I guess, figured don't worry about this because on this news show, Don doesn't mind taking an opinion every now and then, okay? And he says, don't worry about this Nikki Haley. I got the perfect response for her.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s. And
oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Don. He's sitting there. He's looking at this woman who's clearly not in her 20s or 30s. I'm going to say that. And that's with peace and love, all due respect. She's not in her 20s or in her 30s.
Poppy Harlow.
That's Poppy. That's Poppy Harlow.
Yeah, Caitlin Collins might be. I think she's in her prime.
She might be in her prime, but Don Lemon won't even look at her at this point. He hates her so much. That's a whole other scenario that we're going to break down because Don Lemon, I'm here to tell you, sometimes I like to look at these things deeper than just what's on the surface. I don't just want to talk about the story. I want to talk about the fact that Don Lemon is not okay. He's clearly in a rough spot right now. And is just saying wild shit to stare into the face of a woman who is not in her 20s or 30s. She's past those decades. And say, Nikki Haley's out of her mind because she's not in her prime. A woman is in her prime in her 20s and 30s, right? And the woman's like, what? what are you talking about, Don? Where are we going with this, Don?
Poppy Harlow is a fresh 40-year-old.
She's 40.
Just got out of unfortunately, she just got out of her prime.
Just missed the prime. Oof.
Caitlin Collins is 30.
That way he won't look at her. He doesn't want that. That bitch is still in her prime, and he's very jealous of that. And by the way, so this one is 40 or 41, you said?
40.
And this one is 30.
30.
And the one in the middle is what, 56?
He is, drum roll, 56.
Okay, but for a guy, the rules don't apply. It's science, hot dog.
Everyone knows that. I Googled it.
Medical science. This coming from the people that would attack Joe Rogan for well, anyway, that has nothing to do with this one way or the other. Let's
Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking?
Okay, he hit her with the maybe 40 because he was like, oh no. Like he's looking at old Poppy and she's staring daggers into his eyeballs and he can feel his eyeballs being pierced. And he's like, this is terrible. At 42. You have also in there,
in there
40. Fuck. Oh no.
You just turned 40. Shit.
I was at the birthday party. There's a big 4 and a 0 and a nylon balloon. It's terrible. And 40s as well. And also for because I mean, Poppy, you're in your prime, right?
You just had a child, right?
In her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait,
maybe
that's not according to me.
Prime for
that's not my. I want you to know something. People are saying that's not according to me. People are saying, okay, that a woman is in her 20s and 30s, that's that sweet spot. That's not me. People are saying.
That thing that just came out of my mouth right now, I take zero responsibility for.
I didn't say that just now. Other people did, though. You know what I'm saying, right?
For what?
It depends.
Oh, look at that face. She's like, oh, we got you, you son of a bitch. We just got you right there, Don Lemon.
It's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll.
Don Lemon is like one step away from going like, and guys, what is a woman anyway? Am I right? Can we answer that? Like, he is struggling.
It's a common Google search too. I mean, everyone knows that.
What is Don Lemon doing Googling when's a woman in her prime? Hey, when is a woman in her prime anyway? What? Why? No, I mean, aren't we all wondering? No, I don't. No. Huh. All right. Well, I guess it's just me then.
Say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got.
Oh, I don't necessarily agree. It's a Google thing. You would have to ask, the Silicon Valley about that. I don't know.
Ask the Google man.
Ask Google.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. He's just like he's just spiraling. You could ask Jeeves. Bing. Bill Gates. A woman. What were you saying, Poppy?
30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily...
40s, oh, I got another
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that.
Dude, when you're on CNN and you can't get the room to go with you on your Nikki Haley criticism, you have really stepped in it. You have stepped in something so deep that I didn't know it existed.
He's in a scorn sandwich right now.
Oh, boy.
Both ways.
And this lady, they don't get along. The lady in the red, she hates Don Lemon. So she's like, go on. Keep going. Yeah. What were you saying? Yeah, no, go on. Go on. The prime, the woman in the prime, please keep going.
I'll give you enough rope here.
Aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for...
Oh, it's my favorite. Don't shoot the messenger. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. What are you, on your period? Don't shoot the messenger here.
I read about those things on Google.
I mean, it's literally, all they were doing was talking about how, like, you know, irresponsible it is to give misinformation and this and that. And now Don Lemon is saying, you can Google it yourself. I am not going to cite any specific source, but according to the internet, a woman is no good after 40.
I think the source of that information is Don Lemon.
What are you gonna do with them? I wish one of the co-hosts would say, okay, Don, I'm just trying to, because, you know, if you do the math, I see what you're saying, 40, you're probably thinking like reproductive health. Their reproductive years would be the prime reproductive years, sure, in your 20s, 30s, you know, stretching into 40 these days with the modern the miracle of modern medicine. Are you saying that once a woman cannot reproduce, that cognitively she becomes deficient? Is that...
that's not what I'm saying. That's what Google's saying.
Hey, Prime, right there, okay? Prime. And this lady in red has not said a word. She hasn't said anything. She's like, go on, King, slay.
She's angling. She's angling for that middle seat.
You can see her, by the way. Look at her posture. She's leaning back. She's like, I'm Paul, and that's between y'all. She's like, Don, you got this. Show me what a professional can do.
Well, that's because she's 30. She has 10 more years in her prime. She's good.
She's in her prime. That's why she's handling this so well. She's in her prime.
The facts are, Google it, everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime, and they need to be in their prime when they serve.
You know what happens when you Google when is a woman in her prime? You get a bunch of Don Lemon videos. You get this over and over again. I mean, dude, the whole thing. Like, and now it's like a multi-edged sword, not just double-edged sword. It's just there's points all over the place because, I mean, Don's never going to be able to live this down. Like, you could never have a debate at this point because anybody would just go, didn't you say that a woman can't be a politician if she can't have kids? And he's like, no, Google, that was Google said that, not me. Google said that. I'm sorry, Don, could you present us with the evidence? I mean, this is a guy, Don Lemon, who, you know, he's made enemies. Like, he's one side of the fence politically, so by definition, the other side of the fence is not going to like what you say, right? So all he's done now...
The other side of the fence might agree with him now.
Dude, do you know how many quote-unquote anti-woke white right-wingers have become feminists today? They're all feminists, and all of them, like all the anti-woke people are like, I can't believe how sexist this Don Lemon is. I'm against cancel culture, but we have to draw a line. Let's fire Don Lemon. And you're like, what? Like, there's no principles. And Don Lemon is over here, like, you know, being the voice for the voiceless until, you know, they're past their prime, in which case bring them out behind the shed. Because, I mean, do you think that when Hillary was running for president, Don Lemon was like, bitch can't even have kids. What does she think she's gonna do? I mean,
the Google information wasn't out yet.
Oh, when Hillary, that Google hadn't updated their search engine.
No.
For when a woman was in her prime. Look, I think that Don is spiraling, okay? I mean, it sounds like he's spiraling already. But, you know, I think King Buzzo says that Cora says 35 plus. Prime for what? That's not a thing.
I would say 27
is the prime.
Yeah.
That's not, I mean, it's because you're just saying like, what's my dating age or what? Like, what is prime what? What is that just as a human being? Can you imagine if we had that as a person, just as a human being? It's like, no, you're toast after, 27, 36, whatever the age is. It's like, why bother after that? Like, you've contributed what you're going to contribute. Now, we just go move into a house. We'll leave you alone until you die.
I think Don Lemon has opened up a very important discussion to be had.
When is a woman in her prime? The next documentary coming from The Blaze and their new host, Don Lemon.
Yeah.
How funny is that? That Don Lemon's about to be canceled. Who would have thought? When the pandemic was going on, that the Cuomo brothers, Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon, would be the ones getting canceled from CNN.
What a good pairing that was.
I mean, they had it all. And this is why I think that Don is spiraling. Because, Don, he used to be king shit over there at CNN. Him and Chris Cuomo were running everything.
Prime time.
Yeah, and then they would do the crossover where they would, rib each other in the boxes and everything. Like, I saw your show today. I can't wait for your show. We're buddies. And then what happens? Somebody new comes in to take over CNN. Chris Cuomo's gone, so Don Lemon is out of Friends now, right? Then they go, hey, Don, remember when you had a full hour every night in primetime just by yourself? And you could come on, and many times he'd be crying about whatever was going on, and he would just do it, it would be an hour. It's like this show, except Don didn't have to build a studio in his house and sign up for a YouTube channel to get it. Like, if a network came to me and said, you want to just have an hour in primetime, it's just pretty much you and a desk. You could bring hot dog if you want. I'd be like, yeah, but you're fucking crazy. Like, I mean, yeah, of course that's what I would want to do, right? And I did that, and it was like I was making all kinds of money. And then one day they were like, first of all, we canceled hot dogs 6 months ago. I'd be like, that's a bummer. And then been hanging out there. We all saw it coming, but it's a bummer. And then they go, also, we're going to move you now. This is what they did to Don Lemon. You don't get your prime time, an hour in prime time to be the tastemaker of the news anymore. We're going to move you to the morning. So now you got to wake up and you got to have co-hosts and you got to do silly morning segments. And it's, very regimented.
They're women.
Right. That's what he said. They're not women, are they? They said, yes. Yes, Don, they are women. And Don went,
and he said, how old are they?
God, they're not. Are they in their prime? Are they in their prime? So like there's been report, right? So and then he gets this show that's much worse than his original show. It's a worse gig any way you slice it. And then I saw this thing that the ratings are terrible. Like it's the worst ratings the CNN morning show has ever had. Every time the new friends have come into CNN and Friends, all of the friends have had better ratings than Don Lemon and his friends. All of them. Nobody watches the show.
Well, I mean, look at the chemistry with these three friends.
I mean, they're not friends is the problem. You can't do CNN and Friends. See, at least like Ducey and the other people on that show, they are friends. They hang out and they're friends. These guys aren't friends. And like news articles keep coming out and it says Don Lemon and what's this one's name in the red?
Caitlin Collins.
Caitlin Collins and Don Lemon. They said Don Lemon keeps yelling at Caitlin Collins. That's what they said. He keeps scolding her and yelling at her because they said that she keeps interrupting him. And he doesn't like it because he's got a lot to say, this Don Lemon. He's got a lot to get to the bottom of. And there have been supercuts that people have made on like Twitter and stuff where it's just video montages of this Caitlin and Don Lemon interrupting each other. And it's almost like a power struggle. Like there are times when Don's getting interrupted and he doesn't stop talking. Like, that's when it gets hostile. When you're being interrupted and you just keep plowing through the interruption and you're just having two sentences go on top of each other, that's when you've got two people that are fighting for power.
Well, I mean, Caitlin Collins is kind of like the golden girl.
She is. She is.
I mean, she was like the CNN White House correspondent at age 26.
Oh, no.
He had all the prime time segments when they would cut to the White House.
And it's real prime time because she was in her prime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now she's 30. She's a 30-year-old woman co-hosting a morning show on CNN. That's pretty good for a woman in her prime. For Don, who already had prime time, and now he's doing the morning show, that's a demotion. For her, it's great.
It's great. And he's threatened by her, I think. And he doesn't like that she's not respecting the king because he thinks he's still the king, but he's not the king anymore. Sometimes you were the king and you're not the king anymore, and you got to just kind of gracefully go, that's okay. I'm in a dip right now. You got to know, just because you were the king doesn't mean you will remain to be the king. And there's nothing worse than somebody that was the king and they're sitting around still acting like the king, even though the whole world can clearly see that they are certainly not the king. And that may be the scenario that Don Lemon is in. I don't know. I mean,
he's got 26 years on her.
I mean,
almost twice our age, and they're in the same position.
You ever see this one? This happened not that long ago, right? So this, what's her name again?
In the red?
Yeah, Caitlin something.
Caitlin. Yeah,
right.
Caitlin Collins.
So Caitlin Collins. He's you like Caitlin Collins, do you?
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, you like yeah. Well, she's in her prime. You know, what do you expect? This Caitlin Collins is interviewing this guy, right? And I don't know who he is, but maybe the oversight chairman. I don't know, but he's like, she's kind of questioning him on things, right? And he's bringing up the New York Post and things like that. And she's out there interviewing him, like you said, Hot Dog. She's an all-star, and she throws back to Don Lemon and Poppy, and they're in the studio, and listen to this tension. See, I don't know anything about what they're talking about. I don't know any of the people involved. I have to keep asking Hot Dog what their names are, but I know human behavior. I know social interactions, and I know show dynamics, and I know what I see when I see it. Look at the tension here, HDzo.
We have a lot more questions for you. I know you have a bunch of hearings this week. Thank you for taking time to join us.
Thank you for having me. All right. Thank you. That's going to be it. That's the time that we're in, where facts are sort of flexible. And
that's why we got Caitlin Collins on the Hill. Fact-checking in real time. It was a great interview.
Citing incredible sources.
They're doing two different shows. they're just doing two shows because Poppy knows. So I'm already telling you what's going to happen. I'm going to rewind it. You can play the whole clip. Poppy knows that Don hates Caitlin, right? So as soon as they get back, Don's like, what a bullshit interview that was, huh? But he's doing it in the nice way, right? Where he's like, you know, he wasn't citing the right sources. He wasn't pressed, blah, blah, blah. But Poppy is a team Caitlin over here. So she's like, yeah, that's why that interview was fucking awesome, huh, Don? And Don just keeps plowing through going, this garbage, just total garbage. Listen to what he says.
That's the time that we're in, where facts are sort of flexible.
That's why we got Caitlin Collins on the Hill. Fact-checking in real time. It was a great interview.
Citing incredible sources like.
But by the way, I'm sorry I keep pausing this. Facts are flexible, citing uncredible sources. 6 weeks later. Yeah, I don't know. I Googled it. It said women are in their prime in their 20s and 30s. You Google it yourself. It's just true. It's just science. I mean,
yeah, he might be spiraling. I think you're right.
He's spiraling, dude. This isn't about women. This isn't about. Don is in a bad place. Don needs our help as a human being. First of all, Don needs his ass off television. He needs to not be on television right now because he's going to do some dumb shit. Okay, this is not going to end well.
Well, this article, I mean, you told me about how he was yelling at her behind the scenes. Apparently, yeah, he made her cry.
You can't be making people cry at work. You can't.
Your co-host.
I called Hot Dog a fraud at work once. It was actually yesterday.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to cry. If he was going to cry, I would tell him, you got to be a man if you're going to come in here. No, you can't make you can't make people cry at work, Don Lemons. Come on. Come on, listen to what he says.
Where facts are sort of flexible. And
that's why we got Caitlin Collins on the Hill. Fact-checking in real time. It was a great interview.
Citing incredible sources, like citing the New York Post as a credible source and saying that facts are, it's just, I can't believe that we're here.
Caitlin, that was a great interview. All right, moving on.
Anyway, well, now moving on, because listen.
Watch this,
That's a big issue when
this.
it comes to the American. Hold on, please, with the music.
No, we're not going. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. No, we're not done, because that wasn't great.
Which was a shit interview.
It was garbage. And he's over there on. This is. I mean, they don't even know how to play this game that they're playing. He's over there saying they discredited crediting sources that are not credible. He says, like the New York Post. Hot dog, guess which publication is going 24/7 on this Don Lemon is a sexist pig coverage?
Fox News?
New York Post. New York Post is all over it. Because, like, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Listen to him, okay? We ain't going to break. She's like, it was a great interview. Don was like, no, it wasn't.
Listen, that's a big issue when it comes to the American. Hold on, please, with the music. That's a big issue when it comes to the American people. Oh, it didn't even fade out. American people are going to have to suffer through all of this stuff.
Look at the body language on Poppy. She's so annoyed. She hates him, too.
We don't have a shared reality, and now it's taken center stage. Two, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, an election denier, a conspiracy theorist, a QAnon sort of influencer or supporter presiding over the House of Representatives. It's a sad day for America when that happens, and it's a sad time for us when we have to deal with it.
He is not having it, dude. Listen to this. Okay, here's another Don Lemon interview. He's spiraling. He's spiraling. He's in a bad spot in life. He did. You know how the debate comes up that the lady soccer players should make just as much money as the boy soccer players?
Right. Bullshit.
Sure. But let's say you're sitting at a glass table on CNN, hypothetically, and you got two women that potentially hate you sitting on either side of you. Hot dog, is that the time that you're gonna fight the fight?
No, I'd be smarter about when to bring stuff like that up.
Here's the soccer debate covered by CNN.
Makes more money. If they make more money, then they should get more money. The men's team makes more money because because people are more interested in
But guess who takes part of blame? I have a big issue with this, guys. WNBA, same thing's happening to them.
There's also more interest in the
hold on. Until big media companies, big tech companies, advertisers invest and put them on their airwaves more and allow people and allow people to see it more and gain more fans, then you will push toward more equality. But if they are blocked in so many ways and not invested in as much, they don't even have I know you're not, but they don't even have a shot.
But there's nothing that proves you're not sexist more than yelling, "I'm not sexist," while you're interrupting a woman making a point.
Shut up! I'm not sexist.
Yeah. Hey, honey, I'm not sexist, but pipe down for a second, because I have a point to make. You probably don't watch sports, am I right? What do you like, your little halftime show? Is that what you like to watch, honey? Okay, I'm not sexist. Anyway.
This is what happens when you don't let Don Lemon go crazy in New Orleans for New Year's. Yeah, he's all pent up.
Can I tell you something? You know what I think the last straw in the spiral was? Don Lemon's New Year's coverage started at 12:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
A.m. 12:30.
That's not fun, dude.
I'm going to tell you right now. I understand different time zones. When the ball drops in Times Square, New Year's is over. If you're in LA, you watch the replay from Times Square. That's why everybody puts their diapers on and goes to Times Square on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve.
All the news outlets are in Times Square.
That's it. When you wake up on New Year's Eve morning and they're already covering, like, Australia lighting their fireworks off, you go, okay, what is this? New Year's Eve pre-show, right? Nobody actually considers it the New Year.
You get sent over there, right?
Right. There's one New Year's Eve. It happens in Times Square. The ball drops. Ryan Seacrest goes through a countdown or something, and we're done. Andy and Andy are drunk. We're done. Okay? Don Lemon not only did his New Year's coverage not start until 12:30 a.m. Eastern. He couldn't get drunk or get his belly button pierced. And he missed the countdown because he was dancing to the song Back That Ass Up by Juvenile. Okay?
It's rock bottom.
It's rock bottom is what it is. He hit his rock bottom. How do you go from being the king of CNN to covering New Year's Eve at 12:30 a.m. on January 1st, Eastern time? Eastern time. It's a bad time. Listen to the soccer debate.
Boy, in a family of all women. I understand what you're saying, but not everybody, honestly, has the same skill. Not everybody has the same interest.
I'm not a sexist, but not everybody has the same skill. not everybody's going to be good at everything. Some people, this is like an Andy Kaufman bit. Some people are good at making the money, at making important decisions, driving. Other people are good at cooking, cleaning, making babies.
I know because I've Googled it.
And it's not me, Poppy. Why are you shooting the messenger on this one? I'm not saying this. I read it on the internet. Google it yourself.
In the sport, I think the women should be paid more. I do. But if the men...
You're right that not everyone has the same skills because the women are better skilled.
Well, the women are better skilled against other women. But
by the way, that's so annoying. The whole
what?
Mic drop. Like, that's really fucking irritating. Women are better. Okay, but here's the thing. Don's not wrong in this argument. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, this is chess, not checkers. The only reason you go onto a morning show on a news network, you know who watches morning shows? Women. Women watch morning shows.
Slow down, Sam.
Women be shopping, okay? That's the thing that you got to remember. But, I mean, generally speaking, a lot of women are watching these morning shows, okay?
Where'd you get that information?
You can look it up on Google. It says it right there. It's not me saying it. I didn't make that up. You just Google it.
Okay.
Okay? Just Google it. But you don't go on to the morning show sitting next to two women and go, the only reason you bitches don't make more money is because you're not as good as we are. Like, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to do. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. How are you playing the game, Don Lemons? Where did this come from? This guy used to know how to play the game. He's spiraling. He's in a bad place. He's in a bad place.
Right that not everyone has the same skills because the women are better skilled.
Well, the women are better skilled against other women. But if the
she did it with two hands, by the way. She went, mic drop. Who does mic drop?
I would love it if they just reformatted the whole show to be like a gender war morning show.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if Don Lemon was just there talking about anything you can do, I can do better? Look at her. Who's ever done that for a mic drop? Who holds them? That's two mics.
Double mics. One's a backup mic.
I dropped both of them. Hey, give me your mic. I want to drop that one too.
Women. But if the women played the men,
they
wouldn't be winning
the
way that they win.
Okay, yes, Don.
So,
I'm not even going to
point for the men.
I mean, he's.
Hey, I mean, he sounds like he would fit right in with the Fox News primetime.
I mean, 1,000%. Why is he? And if you women think that I'm wrong, let's go outside and play right now. Let's put up a hoop right now, because I will dunk on you every time.
I'll call Tucker right now, 2-on-2.
Who? Whoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I ran out of friends when Chris left. I ran out of friends. I got to talk to somebody. They're going to find that in those Fox News court hearings that Don Lemon is texting all his Fox buddies. Like, you guys made some good points tonight.
Wouldn't be winning the way that they win.
Okay, I'm not going to get into this.
So,
let's go, Don. Let's go.
If the sport makes more money, that means there's more money available.
Why does it make more money?
Because people are more interested in
Let's go, Don.
Guys, you guys don't want to say anything.
When
I go to a sports bar, if there is a women's basketball...
I love it. Don's not even letting... This guy wants to come in and be like, it's okay, everybody, it's okay. And Don's like, fuck, it is okay. They're talking some crazy ignorant shit right now.
These women, man.
No, we got to take care of this right now because they're not beating anybody at any sport. It's enough.
Guys, am I wrong? You guys don't want to say anything.
The crew.
I will just, when I go to a sports bar, if there's a women's basketball game on, I'm just being honest.
Which is on air less.
People will say,
you literally
can you flip it to the guys? I don't want to watch this.
Change the channel. Change the channel. That's right. When I go to B-dubs, I'm not watching that nonsense. I mean...
It's very anecdotal, but very accurate.
I'm not watching it.
I'm not watching that nonsense.
Sounds dumb.
Folks.
Where's the lie? Nobody's on Don's side. He's spiraling, dude. Don's in, he's in a lot of trouble, this Don. We got to be here for him right now.
He needs the President's Day weekend to cool off.
King Buzzo's pointed it out. I think Don Lemon somewhere got red-pilled. You know?
Just
think about it, right? Think about it. Think about all the red-pilled people, right? A lot of them... people in general, when you start to change your ideals, whether you go, oh, I found this thing on the left wing or the right wing or whatever it is, when you start to, it's because you're lost, right? You're in this like dark place where you're like, I don't know how to make heads or tails out of any of this. Nothing makes sense anymore. And then you find this, whatever, either an agenda, point of view, you find like-minded people, you start to find home again. Maybe at some point when Don started losing his friends, when he was like, cancel culture or whatever, and he don't know, like at one point he's like, there's no cancel culture, and then his friend gets cancel cultured off CNN, he doesn't know what to do. So, maybe he did get red-pilled, or maybe he's just...
Or women just be tripping sometimes.
Women do be tripping, and he's got a lot to deal with there. What do you think it would happen if you went up to Don Lemon and you're like, women, am I right, Don? You'd probably, the next 3 hours of your evening would be taken up. But let me tell you something else.
Go get a piercing.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Don. Let's get a tattoo. Don's going to start a new chapter of the He-Man Woman Haters Club, I think. No, ma'am. He's going to bring back No, ma'am. I can't wait for it. Well, Don's apologized. He put out a tweet apologizing. Nobody believed him. It's being described as a rambling apology, which is never a positive when it comes to apologies. But Don's not the only one apologizing. Did you know this, Hot Dog?
There's more?
There's more apologies to be had. And I'm glad. I like apologies. I like apology culture. I think people should apologize all the time. Apologize for... I think you should just apologize for everything. Whether anybody like, oh, I'm sorry, I had dinner tonight. It's like, sorry about that. Sorry.
We can be like the Canadians.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Polite, nice. I tell you, and it can't... I was talking to... I was in the gym, with my trainer.
Oh.
Getting yoked.
Leg day today?
I tell you, it was yesterday. It's full bodies, I go, but I go, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, it's raining. And I go, you know what I said to her? I looked right at her. I was like, it's not your fault. And she felt better. She said, I need to hear that sometimes. I go, that's not your fault out there. What's happening out there, that's not your fault. I appreciated the apology. She said, I'm sorry, it's raining. I said, it's not your fault. We were both better for it. So
that's nice.
Maybe if we can go from there, via con Dios, that's what I say. But Hot Dog, the unthinkable happened on the golf course yesterday.
On the golf course?
I know, of all places. Tiger Woods and Justin Thomas. This gentleman right here is Justin Thomas. They were hitting golf balls, Everybody was paying attention. They were on television doing it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The unthinkable happened. Just watch this. You'll be disgusted, Hot Dog. If there's any kids watching, spin them around in the chair right now. I don't want them to see this.
I think it stayed on the ground. It did, and this one's headed a little left. Got a nice bounce.
Okay. So,
I see that rough is not very...
Important note here. The ball didn't go as far as Tiger's ball went. Okay?
Very long at all, so no issues. Pretty good lie right there.
That. Did you see it, Hot Dog?
What was that?
Are you ready for this? It's the unthinkable. Luckily, they caught it on camera and they zoomed in on what exactly just happened. Because you saw it, right? Tiger went to give him some kind of handshake deal, put something in his hand. Oh, they got those nice 8K cameras. Put something in his hand, and it looked like he threw it, right? Oh, maybe it was the different angle, not the 8K. See, okay, here it is. There it is. You see it? Did you see it fall?
Yes.
Hot dog, are you ready?
Uh-huh. Oh.
That's a tampon. Tiger handed Justin Thomas, his golf friend, a tampon, as if to say, I hit the ball further because you're a chick. That's the way I take it. I don't know for sure. I mean, that hasn't been clarified to me. But that's the way I took it. Now, people were outraged. Outraged. Okay? I mean, enough is enough, people. At some point, it's like, we can't live in a society where we do things like that, where you give somebody a tampon who's your friend. You just can't. You can't.
Tampons out of our sporting events.
I know. They're taking the spirit out of it. And thank God there was somebody there at the press, at the media scrum to talk to Tiger about this. Because it was true, you know. We need Tiger to answer for this. He gave his friend a tampon. His friend threw it on the floor. Let's get to the bottom of this, you know? Let's tackle this head on and really, really discuss.
With JT from 9 yesterday is kind of going viral. Can you kind of just explain your thoughts behind it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, all fun and games.
I'll tell you what, the position that Tiger Woods is in, there are people that when this came up, they might sweat and go like, oh boy, I don't want to have to publicly apologize. Based on what Tiger has done in his past, this is light work. This is like, I mean, if I survived what I've survived, okay, this isn't even the worst thing I've done publicly with a tampon. If I've been able to survive what I've been able to survive, I think I'll be fine here. I mean, Tiger is not stressed about this situation whatsoever.
This is minor league stuff.
Which, by the way, if you pass your friend a tampon because you're better at sports than him, it's kind of funny. It is funny. It's like, it's a pretty good troll. Hot dog, you won't go on the record with that, though. Because you don't know if Poppy Harlow's listening.
Or Caitlyn. I like Caitlyn.
You like Caitlyn, I forgot.
I like it.
She's in her prime.
She's younger than me. It's crazy.
I believe it.
It hasn't turned out that way.
Oh, yeah, this is Tiger saying it was supposed to be fun and games. I love the way he describes it. Want to do some fun and games?
Explain your thoughts behind it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, all fun and games, but obviously it hasn't turned out that way. And if I had offended anybody, it was not the case. It was just...
he's not even trying anymore. He said...
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care. He said if I offended anybody, that was not the case. All right.
That's not usually how it goes.
Yeah. Did I offend you? Yes, you did. Well, you're not offended. What?
It's like the Spark Notes version of what his apology.
Yeah, he's like,
actually be.
He's like, what words? What words do you guys want me to just say? Okay, wait, hey.
Sorry,
I mean, because if he's being honest, he's like, I want anyone who actually cares to raise their hand. If you care remotely about this, just raise your hand. You know how many hands would raise? No hands. No one actually cares. You know what Tiger could also say? I'm sorry if you were offended by me passing a tampon to my friend. Talk to the camera guy who zoomed in on it. It wasn't, we didn't do it. We didn't even do it in the open. If you don't want to see it, talk to these camera guys about zooming in on the stuff that you don't want to see. No?
Goddamn 8K cameras.
It's an 8K. You can crop. He doesn't care. He does not care. And he shouldn't.
Friends having fun. And as I said, if I offended anybody in any way, shape, or form, I'm sorry. It was not intended to be that way. It's just, we play pranks on one another all the time, and
we play pranks on one another.
Virally, I think this did not come across that way, but between us, it's different.
He's going like, look, on the internet, people didn't like it. Between the two of us, hilarious. So funny. So funny.
I got him. I so got him.
You got to understand. He touched a tampon. Ooh.
He swings like a girl.
He's a girl. Who needs tampons? Not guys, girls, right? Am I right, guys? Yeah. So Tiger apologized for that. He probably could have gotten away with not ever addressing it, because I couldn't imagine anybody ever actually caring. Yeah. You hear about these big red boots, Hot Dog? You hear about the big red boots? You get your pair?
Seeing it all over the place.
Yes,
I want one.
You do want a pair of these big red boots?
Yeah, I want to be the man.
That's the point, right? People are like, what are you going to do with these big red boots? The answer is be the man. Seemingly, now they can't say this is official, but they look to me like they were modeled off of Astro Boy, the character, right? Astro Boy. But obviously they're not licensed. So they said it's kind of modeled after every cartoon character. This is where like the digital world and physical world kind of intersect. And you're seeing them all over the place. Look at Iggy Azalea's. Iggy Azalea's getting off a plane. She's got no pants on, but she's got her big red boots on. That's amazing. Prioritize. That's how great these boots are. You'll prioritize them over your pants. It's incredible. Especially because you can't get your pants on after you've put the boots on. So once you put the boots on, you're at the point of no return. These are made by a company called Mischief. You can see it ingrained there on the bottom of the sole. These are real. They dropped, I believe, yesterday at a price tag of $350. These boots have become so hyped. I mean, they did quite a marketing campaign to get the word out about these boots. Not only did they have Iggy Azalea hanging out in an airplane with no pants on, but they had I thought I had the picture here. I don't have the picture. They had Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was wearing the big red boots. I think somebody went to maybe the NBA All-Star game, maybe, wearing the big red boots.
I think I saw that too.
Yeah, with the baggy pants over it. Yeah, I mean, all kinds of different looks. Even, and this was a big look for WWE. Seth Rollins showing up with the big red boots on Monday Night Raw. That was a look. Hot Dog, you had to be impressed by that.
The fashion icon.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
And he did his finisher with the big red boots on. The stomp with the boots. I love it.
Were those bootlegs though?
No. Nope. And not only were they not bootlegs, I did my research. I contacted my behind-the-scenes people that I contact, because sometimes I think like the wrestling people may not be aware that they're being culturally relevant when they're being culturally relevant, because they're just thinking about wrestling all the time. And no, Rollins actually does have a legit stylist. Like he's, and his stylist reached out to Mischief and got the boots.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he really wore them. Now, I haven't seen, everybody looks silly when they walk in them. Everybody looks like they're not designed for anything. Like,
do it up, Papa Smurf.
Like you can see, because they come all the way up to almost your knee. So that you've lost a lot of the articulation and movement in your ankle and in your shin area. You can see here the boys from the Full Size Run, I think, podcast. They had him on. That's Trinidad James, who got himself a pair. I don't know why they're wearing Spider-Man suits, but they look cool. And this is one of the memes, one of the viral things that is true about them is they're very, very hard to get off. You can get them on pretty easily. You just kind of step into them. But apparently they're very, very hard to take off. So you really got to get a pal to help you out. And just like...
Dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Pull them off.
No, I can't do it myself. You're going to have to pull from the bottom. This shit is crazy, bro.
It is crazy. It is. These are grown-ups, that they have to help each other take their shoes off, which is beautiful, Hot Dog, you think Nigel would help you take off your boots?
I think they would just watch me struggle.
Okay, then they're good people. That's what I would do too. There it is. Popped it off. Popped it off. But you know what? Ultimately, worth it. Totally worth it. Because you
wish you had that?
I very much wish that I had the big red boots. They retail for $350. That's how much they cost when they went up on the site. But of course, after young Wheezy and Diplo was wearing them. I don't know if you know that, Hot Dog. Diplo had them on. After the whole hype train went through, retail it was non-existent. Resale went through the roof. And this is true. They're now going for like $1,000 to $2,000, like $1,500 to $2,000 for a pair of these boots, which don't have. I mean, for a spot to flex, you can flex with them right now. They won't be a flex much longer. You can flex with them.
This is very volatile stock.
It's very volatile. Yeah, and you're buying at the all-time high. This is the absolute peak of the boots. Maybe they'll come back in a couple of years as a throwback or something, but this is a moment. Like, if you pay $2,000 and you have to have them shipped to you, you fucked up. Because by the time they get to your doorstep, the moment will be past.
I think you got until next Friday.
Yeah, but for instance, if I brought these up on the show next Friday, you'd be like, are you really still talking about big red boots? It'd be bad. Yeah.
But this Friday, if you pulled up to a club with those,
if you pulled up to a club tonight, you'd be the man. You would be king shit, and I would respect you if you had them, Hot Dog. Mischief, this company, they do stuff like this. Like, everything they do is not meant to be anything practical. They're like almost like a social commentary. Everything is like an art piece that they do. They kind of got a lot of notoriety because they're the company that put out the Lil Nas X satanic shoes. Remember, they got sued by Nike because they really were just Nike shoes with blood in them and like a pentagram on the front of it. That was before Sam Smith came and co-opted Satanism. Lil Nas X was the OG of it. But yeah, so they did the Satan shoes. They came out with Gobstopper shoes recently. But yeah, I mean, it's all, everything they do, I think, is meant to be like a physical meme, right? Like, everything is just, it's almost like nothing matters. Like that part, there's a nihilism about it that appeals to me, where why do we have these big red boots? Because we're finished anyway.
Why not?
Yeah, it's almost like we're all admitting that we're all idiots. You know what I mean? Like, what's the stupidest thing you could do? I'll invent these boots and you'll pay $2,000 for them. There's no winners. Even the people that are like, this is idiotic, they're no better. Everybody's an idiot. Like, it just is, hey, I just noticed society's over. So I thought I'd come out with these big red boots. And I kind of respect it in a weird way. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Shannon Sharp sees you in the airport. He looks at you with your big red boots and he goes, really? Why?
And then I look at him and go like, why not? And then he'd probably dap me up. He'd probably be like, also, where can I buy a pair? Because I think they'd look great with my weird $7,000 patchwork cardigan sweater that I wear to basketball games.
Rock it. Uncle Sharp could rock it.
Can you imagine? You know who would rock? I'll tell you. Speaking of Unc, you know who would rock these big red boots hard? Skip.
Oh.
Couldn't you 100% see Skip Bayless rolling into the studio wearing these stupid big red boots?
Because he has to bring back Drip, so he can get. He's been on the low.
He's been on the low. Yeah. He's not. There's nothing endearing about him. People hate him now.
Right. They hate Skip.
They hate Skip. Drip. If he can bring back Drip, and this will bring back Drip, but he's got to do it like. He's got to do it on Monday. I wouldn't even give him till Friday, honestly. If he doesn't do it before Wednesday, it's like everybody's done it, dude. Everybody's done it. So Drip, you want to get the people back on your side? You want to get, more importantly than the people, you want to get the culture back on your side, Skip Bayless? You get some big red boots. And you remind the world that, yeah, Skip Bayless is about a bag of dick. I was thinking in my head, this is going to be a clip. Skip, you get those big red boots. And you remind the world that, yeah, Skip Bayless is about a bag of dicks. But Drip Bayless knows no bounds. And we got nothing but love for young Drip Bayless. And Drip Bayless makes a comeback, and he makes it hard in these mischief big red boots. It's the only way to go.
How many of your actual kicks would you trade in today so you can have the week of being the man?
I have a lot. I have a lot of everyday pairs that I would trade in. A lot. I would do it. I would make the trade. If somebody was like, easily, there are easily 12 pairs of shoes that I would give up right now for if I could have these just to wear them on tonight, just to put my feet up and go like here. I mean, these are new. These are these are new.
You trade those in?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. It's just the drip is too strong. It's too strong.
Can't deny it.
No, I'm a straight rider, you know. So good. Somebody call me Sammy Fumble Muffins on there. I know. I'm sorry. That's why you got to watch the show live. You just watch the shorts. You think, man, this guy's perfect. This guy never misses. Sam Roberts never misses.
Don't miss.
Well, every now and then. Hey, before we wrap up for the night, Hot Dog, you got a couple more minutes?
Yes.
Talk about somebody that's lost the love of the culture. The culture does not have a lot of love for young Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg. Things aren't going good for Bill Goldberg at the moment. Man, you know, there's the thing about Bill Goldberg, okay? I try to like this guy. I try to like him. I'll bet we would get along. I'd love to interview him. I'd love to talk to him about wrestling. He seems like a nice man, right? Hangs out with his family. I watched his A&E biography. I got him, man. I loved that biography when he was like, look, man, people were mad at me. These wrestling fans were mad at me because I didn't grow up with this as my dream. But my dream was to be a football player, and that dream was taken away from me. I'm sorry that I got over. I'm sorry that I'm good at wrestling. And it's like, yeah, Bill Goldberg, you're right. We shouldn't take out that stuff on you. But then he goes on these podcasts. He says some dumb shit. Hot Dog. He says some dumb shit. And it makes me go, oh, maybe he's actually a heel. For some reason, he was on this podcast called The Car Cast. I guess they're supposed to be talking about cars.
I would hope that's the theme.
I would hope so. I've never heard the show before. But otherwise, it's a terrible name for a podcast. Horrible.
If it's not about cars?
Terrible. If it's just about anything else. No, we talk about wildlife. Well, that was dumb.
We talk about music.
We're talking about music mainly. What band? The Cars. Oh, okay. That makes sense then. For some reason, they decided to talk about the halftime show of the Super Bowl.
On the CarCast.
On the CarCast. Bill Goldberg is on the CarCast, and he's talking about the halftime show. Well, this is what he said.
Actions, right? You just want to watch it because of the value of the game, and it's entertainment. So now we'll talk about entertainment. I thought Rihanna was freaking horrible.
Oh, Bill, what the hell? Nobody even asked you. Nobody asked him. You can't come at mother like that. You see the way Bill comes at mother? Nobody even asked him. Nobody
asked him, what's your favorite car?
He said, what's your favorite car? He goes, I'll tell you what my favorite car is, the one that I drove away from the Super Bowl after that god-awful halftime show. Let's talk about it, huh? Like, why bring up Rihanna? Can you imagine if Rihanna was just like, they were like, hey, how'd the halftime show go? And she's like, halftime show was fine, but I'm still pissed about what Goldberg did to The Undertaker in Saudi. Like, people would be like, why bring that up? Why bring up an unflattering moment for Bill Goldberg in this moment? She's like, well, because
he brings up
on my mind.
Rihanna, how Bret Hart brings up Goldberg.
Bret Hart doesn't like Goldberg. Bret Hart has a beef, though. I bet Bret Hart loved the halftime show.
Yeah, of course he did. He's about the culture.
Bret Hart is about the culture, and I appreciate that about Bret. Bret Hart ages like a fine wine.
Who did he come out with? Those rappers back in the 90s?
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he had that leather jacket on, and Salt and Pepper were all rubbing on his Hitman chest, and he was like, this is nothing to me. This is what I do. This is Calgary, Alberta all day.
This is Sunday night.
Exactly. He's like, bring on DJ Spinderella, too. This is nothing to me. Listen to Bill, though. Bill is the opposite.
And it's entertainment. So now we'll talk about entertainment. I thought Rihanna was freaking horrible.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. It was fine.
It was fine.
Spineless guy, by the way. Spineless. I don't know who he is. God bless him. But in this interaction, he's like, I didn't like it either. It was okay. Well, which is it? What do you mean?
He had no opinion of it.
Yeah.
It was fine means, yeah.
But he said I didn't like it, and then he said it was fine. That you can't be, both things cannot be true simultaneously. It's illogical. It's in either or. You can't be
I get
like
upset when I hear that. When people say it was okay, like, and then they talk about all the bad things. I'm like, well,
take a stand. Then take a stand. You're right, Hot Dog. Take a stand. Or be a man. You know what happens? Sometimes people say that because they're waiting for somebody else to give them an opinion. You, Hot Dog, you are an honest man. You have integrity. You will go to a movie and I'll go, what did you think? And you'll say, I'm waiting for Logan Paul to let me know what he thought. And then I will tell you what I thought. And
I'll tell you after the next podcast drops.
Right. Let me watch these YouTube videos. Sam, you give me an argument. I won't be able to out-argue you. I'll take your opinion. I respect that. Not this guy who's like, I didn't like it. It was fine. Well, then why didn't you like it if it was fine? Anyway, that's not the point.
I wasn't a fan. It was fine.
What?
I mean, I was disgusted.
That's crazy. And then Goldberg's over. Did you hear him? I was disgusted.
It was fine.
I mean, I was disgusted by it.
What?
That's all. Let's just say that.
It just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed kind of boring. It was, I get it. It's exciting for her.
They're saying two different things.
Dude, I agree with you. It was kind of boring. I get it. It was exciting. What?
Goldberg is saying a different thing.
It couldn't have been, if you were disgusted by it, then you weren't bored by it. And if it was boring, it couldn't have been exciting. There's nothing. None of this is possible with the co-host. How could you go, it was boring. I get it. It was exciting. What?
You know what? If I was sitting across from Goldberg, I'd probably have the same kind of responses.
It's a guy who has to talk, right? He doesn't have an opinion, but he's like, I better get in here and say a thing. It's unneeded. It doesn't further the conversation at all. If anything, it's a speed bump in the conversation of the CarCast, pun intended.
Yeah, let Goldberg talk. Ask him some more questions.
Yeah. Speak on that, King. That's what I would say to Goldberg. Goldberg would go, I thought it was disgusting. I'd go, speak on that, King. And he would let me know.
I get it. It's exciting for her. And
that's the understatement of the year, man. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was horrible.
What?
But look, I'm not a country music fan either, but Chris Stapleton singing that national anthem was on point. That dude was good.
What an awful host.
That dude was good.
It sounds like Goldberg really wants to get this off his chest.
By the way, that's how I should be for the, like, when I sit down and do those like A&E docs to give them sound bites. Let me tell you something about the NWO. As far as factions go, they were a big one. But you're 100% right, Hot Dog. You're 100% right. He's like, Rihanna was absolutely disgusting. And he was like, true, maybe not. But Chris Stapleton, huh?
Like, why would you divert? Let Goldberg go off.
Look at your instincts, hot dog. You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Well, he didn't grab his crotch every 15 seconds.
No, he didn't. Was good.
Well, he didn't grab his crotch every 15 seconds.
No.
Why the hell would somebody grab their crotch every 15 seconds during the national anthem? Like, why would you compare the national anthem to the halftime show? I mean, why? I am sick of people putting down the halftime show. First of all, it being disgusting is crazy. I don't even understand that opinion. But even the boring part. Listen, first of all, this is a pregnant woman singing songs about having sex. That is the most real thing I've ever heard in my life. That is, I don't know a musician that has more integrity than that. You know why 50 Cent got so popular? Because he would go on stage, he would do songs about getting shot, and you could see his bullet holes in him. And you go, I trust this guy. When Rihanna comes out and she goes, she's pregnant, and she just had a baby. Just had one. People can't even, people were doing the math, trying to figure out how she could possibly be pregnant again. This makes no sense. What is ASAP doing? They were saying that too. No wonder they call him ASAP. He got right in there. And she's just singing songs about having sex with people. And you go, this is a real one. This is not somebody who just sings the songs. This is somebody who does it. Because that's the second time she's been pregnant, and I know how people get pregnant. And it's doing the things that she's singing about. So there's that. And then you got this woman who's pregnant. Who knows how far along she is, but she's showing, and she's floating on a goddamn stage on top of a stadium. What do you want from a person? And then she's busting out hits. Bitch better have my money. All of them. You got them. What are you looking for?
So we're not looking for some crotch shots.
People didn't like that she was tapping on her vagina. But that's where the baby's going to come out of.
I consider that the highlight.
You like that? What about when she was doing the thing where she was flapping up her butt cheek? You know what I'm saying? Like flapping up her...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, I'm with you. I respected that. Because I go, like a lot of people, a lot of these musicians, they'll go on stage and they'll pretend to be like, sex kittens. Oh, I'm sexy. I do crazy, sexy things. But they don't. They don't do any of that stuff. They know it's popular to sing about it. Oh, they're going to get everybody, all their imaginations are going to go wild. Oh, this is going to be... They don't do any of that stuff. They're bullshitters is what they are. Right.
Rihanna fucks.
Rihanna's a real one. Rihanna fucks. I know for a fact. You know how I know? She's pregnant. I saw her. Not only was she pregnant, she's floating above a stadium. Hot dog, you wouldn't float above a stadium.
No.
Can you imagine if you had a baby in you and you were floating above a stadium? I wouldn't even... I would want to wrap myself in bubble wrap if I was pregnant. I'd be so afraid of all the elements.
I'd be like, what if I trip and fall getting off my bed?
Right. People go like this. You shouldn't drink coffee when you're pregnant. Rihanna's like, I'm going to float above a stadium and sing all my hits. That's incredible. What an accomplishment. And people are Goldberg's over here disgusted. And other people are going, it was boring.
No, so I feel like for anyone who works in sports entertainment, Goldberg, I'm sure, have seen a lot more disgusting things than...
You know what's disgusting? You know what's disgusting? Kicking Bret Hart in the head so hard that his career is over. That's disgusting.
Wow. Yeah,
that's disgusting. You know what's disgusting? When I watch a documentary and The Undertaker goes, I have to retire because Goldberg almost killed me. That's disgusting. Okay? I'm sorry that Rihanna didn't give herself a concussion before her halftime show to do a great thing. You know what was disgusting? That Nitro match with him and William Regal where he couldn't do anything. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. How about that, huh?
How about beating The Fiend with one spear for the Universal title? Not canon, by the way.
I didn't even want that brought up because it's not canon. How about that? Bray is still, to this day, Bray is still putting the pieces together. You tell me that Bray Wyatt was ever the same after that. Ever. He has to have soda matches now because of Goldberg.
Has to sponsor himself just to make ends meet.
Yeah. He's like a NASCAR, a human NASCAR. Okay? You know what they did to try to revive that character after what Goldberg did? They set him on fire for real. Remember that?
I remember that.
Then they put him in a fucking jack-in-a-box and fired him. It's a crazy time. But none of it would have happened. You're right. I forgot about that, Hot Dog, because I don't think about that bad stuff. He lost to Braun Strowman, too. Goldberg. Disgusting.
Hey, man, you better hope Goldberg doesn't see this.
He's out of line with his Rihanna commentary.
You're going to have to hide behind Matt Riddle or something.
Is Goldberg really going to defend his match with The Undertaker? Is that what we're going to, is that the conversation? I didn't appreciate you pointing out. Why? We all saw it. You came at Rihanna as if you never kicked Bret Hart in the head and ended his career. That's ridiculous. It's not right.
They're going to put you in a panel with him. And he's like, hey, Sam. So I saw your video about me. Let's have a chat afterwards.
That's what he was. Come here. Let's have a chat. Did you hear what I said at the beginning about the A&E doc, though? Did you hear the A&E doc was dope?
Great. It was amazing.
I was all right. Maybe I did speak out of the side of my mouth a little bit there. I like the A&E doc. I didn't like what he said about Rihanna. And I like Bret Hart. I'm wearing a Bret Hart shirt.
So you're making your stance known.
Yeah, I'm Team Bret. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I gotta be. All right, guys. Gave you some extra show. Gave you a little extra topic. Appreciate y'all. I made a promise to you at the beginning of this show. I made a promise to you that every super chat would get acknowledged here on Sam Roberts Now. And I don't go back on my promises, okay? So we're going to be acknowledging every super chat. Right now, what I'd like for you to do is hit the like button. A lot of you are watching. Many have not hit like, and that's BS. Hit the like button. Let's go over some of these super chats. If you still would like a comment acknowledged here on the show tonight, then please super chat it in. Six Crow, my favorite. Always there for me. Appreciate you. Plum Crazy 39, have you seen Blood and Honey yet? I look forward to your review of it. I thought it was great. Good to know, Plum Crazy. I have not seen it. My plans are to see Blood and Honey, and I'm also going to see Infinity Pool, I believe is what it's called. Just came out digital streaming. So I will see both those movies, and I will put movie reviews out for those independently here on the channel, just like I did for Knock at the Cabin. And, you know, a bunch of the other movies that I've seen. So there will be at least one, if not two, movie reviews coming within the next 7 days here on the channel. For sure. Gamer 3x3. And now for an original joke. Why does Ari Shaffir watch Elliot Page's breakout movie while in the capital of Alaska? Oh, it's Juno and Juno. Okay. Okay. Dime Card. 2023 needs to be the year of sexuality, not content. Just getting everything.
To raise that sexuality up because you lost.
I mean, by the way, I got a text message. I'm not sure if I'm going to tell you who it's from, but there was somebody that you know that was listening. It was a dude, so it doesn't feel as good. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to read you the text. Okay, because
they better not have said that I'm the least sexual.
You brought it up, okay?
God,
and I'm gonna read you the text now. Of course, it was pronounced on Jim and Sam yesterday. Soraya, who isn't that smart, thinks that Hot Dog is more sexual than I am, which is insane.
And Travis,
which is insane. I mean, no, you're more sexual than I would put. I should have been 3. You should have been 2. Travis should have been 1 on the asexual scale.
I don't know if you knew about this about me, Sam, but I've been. Oh, I mean, it's not a good thing, but I've been as the kid sexual since I was a kid.
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. We'll get deplatformed. We'll get deplatformed. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Also, you being less sexual than Hot Dog was insane. The man didn't bang Mary Jean for no reason. Well, maybe
I have an idea.
Maybe one reason. Who do you think it is? Who do you think?
Is that Corey?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so I have no idea.
Peter Rosenberg.
Go,
Chris,
no, Peter.
Chris Atkinson, thank you for the contribution. Marcus, hey Sam, if dragons existed, do you feel Jack White could slay one? If so, how would he do it? Well, I absolutely do. I saw Jack White make a guitar out of a Coke bottle, a wooden board, and some string. I think that Jack White would probably craft some type of a spear with a rope attached to it, a long rope. And I think that he would, I mean, he's deceivingly strong because of all the, guitar playing. I believe that he would throw the spear up and pierce the neck of the dragon and then pull it down with the rope and then repeatedly do that action until the dragon bled out. And then Jack White would treat us all to a performance of the hardest button to button, and we'd all go home happy, I think. Notsam Miguel says, ooh, why did Hot Dog delete his tweet about Anthony? That's
he goes on his tangents, and then I saw one of his tweets, and I was like, what a fucking asshole, and then I deleted it.
Yeah, I get it. All right. You get in your feelings on Twitter.
I do.
That's fine. That's fine. Captain Base Pants breaking Don Lemon sign, speaking of that, to Compound Media. Yes. PHWOFL. Samalama Ding Dong. Which wrestler had the best finisher of all time? And who do you think is going to win at the Summerfest? Oh, Jeremy Piven. Don Lemon will never live this down, and Jeremy Piven will never live the Summerfest down. The stunner is probably the greatest finishing move of all time, just because you could do it to absolutely anyone. You could do it to your friends. It's fun to do in video games. In every context, the stunner is great. And you believe it every time. There's different ways to sell it. Everybody's got a different stunner sell. So I would say the greatest finisher of all time is Stone Cold Steve Austin's stunner.
I go with the super kick.
Sean's super kick?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is that still a finisher?
Now it's just a clothesline.
Exactly. And whose fault is that?
Not Sean's.
Nope.
No, I know.
Your boys. Nathan Gerald, Sammy Trade Muffins. I think that was in reference to the sneakers. Not Sam Miguel. What about you with Tito Ortiz? Was that spineless? I would say yes. That would be spineless. But I was spineless it was for the content. It's a very funny clip. You remember the Tito Ortiz clip?
Yes, I do.
I mean, it's the best. I wish I had it like on the thing so I could just play it because, I mean, it even makes me laugh when I said. When Tito said something about being a Trump supporter, and I go, oh, so you're fighting as the heel, like joking. And then he goes, yeah, if being a heel is believing in supporting my country. Is that what you think? I went, nope. That's not what I think. Nope.
Miguel has more hard-hitting questions than some journalists give politicians over here.
Don Lemon would love Miguel's line of questioning. And here's the thing, like, Miguel actually likes us. Can you imagine the questions he would Poodle-rific says, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, asking me about Cunha.
I mean, Miguel loves chaos. He just for some reason, I don't know, he devours our content, but wants everybody to just burn each other to the ground. Like, I can't, it's just the most destructive thing. Poodle-rific asks, are aliens real, Sam? Yeah, obviously, right? Like, of course they are.
Bring it to the town square.
That's a good point, too. VC says, hey, homies, Pinky Schultz here. I'm back. New ID. Welcome back, Pinky Schultz. Good to have you. Another _ channel. First super chat. First super chat from another _ channel. He writes in, when a woman is in her prime is #1 Google query when tying when a woman, LOL.
When typing when a woman.
When typing when a
So you type in
when you write when a woman, the auto complete is when is a woman in her prime. Gotcha. And you know that that's all Don Lemon stuff. Nathan Gerald says, who's your XFL team this Saturday? I probably the Brahma Bulls. Is that a team?
I'm just rooting for He Hate Me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. He Hate Me. I think it's going to be great. No, I had no idea XFL was starting this Saturday. Rock really should be doing WrestleMania. We could be getting a lot of XFL promo in if Rock was on Raw. You know,
Rock's busy throwing out stinkers.
Stinkers.
The XFL. I mean, they didn't even get an ad for the Super Bowl.
No, Gutfeld did.
Yeah.
You think he was mad that Brodus Clay was on the Super Bowl but not XFL?
Yeah.
It's a bummer. Not Sam Miguel, just towning around this Friday. Oh, what a guy. Rachel Lee 92. You should see She Came from the Woods. By the way, first super chat from Rachel Lee. First super chat. All right, let me write that down, Rachel Lee, since it is your first super chat. I'm going to write down She Came from the Woods.
You pronounce that Lee? I pronounce it Lay.
No, I would pronounce that Lee because, like that Rachel Lee Cook is, I think, probably spelled the same way. Yeah. But your inability to pronounce words is well documented.
Pizza.
Yes, well documented. Unlike some of your family members. And with that, I will say, I appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Hot Dog.
Appreciate you.
You got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. And I'm going to cheers with you later. Have a good one, everybody.